What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mike. So I want to talk to you guys about something that nobody really wants to talk about is breakups and bad choices, and coming from the bad choices to come out with a positive instead of living in the past and making your life miserable just because you think it's not going to be better without that person. Well, what I want to say to y'all is that you got to keep moving on. I know it's hard. It's terrible. It's a terrible experience. You can't live with it, but we have to, apparently. You know, we can't get what we want to get. Sometimes, you know, people are either too stubborn, not mature, not developed yet, and you know, all you gotta do is just keep doing what you normally do before you met them, you know. For me, before I met her, I was just going to the gym every day, focusing on myself, hanging around with my boys, working on my own car, worrying about my family, worrying about my dog, and it's the worst experience to go through, I'll admit that. Coming from a person that had now two worst relationships that, you know, I wish I can take back, but I really thinking about the fact that this horrible experience can make it my life more meaningful. When you guys break up, everybody tells you, oh, you know, love is everything, everybody goes through it. If you love something, set something free, blah blah blah, you know, all that bunch of bullshit crap everybody tells you just to make yourself feel better. You know, everybody knows it doesn't. It does not whatsoever. It does not when your family tells you that, you know, the person that you love for a very, very long time is not going to come back. They just shove facts right in your face. Nobody throws you any, you know, meaningful words. Everybody just breaks it down, wants to make you feel worse. But, you know, all you got to do is just stick to yourself, move on, do what you normally do, focus on you the most. It's hard to move on, but the only thing that you gotta do is you. I'll admit to you guys, this one really broke me down pretty bad. I was ready to get married to this girl, moved in with her family. Her family accepted who I was, what I represent, what I could do for their dollar. We both decided to, you know, randomly push things forward with talking to each other about it. It broke me down because we had a couple miscarriages, screwed her mentally, screwed me mentally as well. She had ovarian rupture, which was the worst experience that I know she can go through, worst experience that I can go through the most. Seeing my loved one going through all that pain and doing everything that I can to make it better. We went to the hospital 3 times. 2 of them was because of the ovarian rupture. This first one was about her breaking her ankle. I was there for all 3 of them. I sacrificed my family, which I never thought I would ever do for a woman, but, you know, love kind of gets you doing things that you shouldn't be doing. I also sacrificed my family, my friends, my car, my jobs, basically my whole life. I kind of like signed a deal with the devil, and in the end it was pretty bad on my part because I just stood by and watched, didn't tell her, you know, why. I didn't stop her. I just accepted it and I moved out. It's the worst experience that I ever could have done. Right now, It's been 3 months since I've left that house. It's the worst experience probably that I can ever do. It sucks having somebody that you've been with for a very, very long time tell you when you want to talk to them. They say, yeah, I stole your heart, but now I broke it, and it's your turn to put the pieces back together. That's the worst thing that anybody could ever say to somebody. When that happened, I'll put it this way, it was more like a very, very sad movie. I broke down to my knees and right in front of her, and I started crying. While the last thing that I've ever seen to her and ever thought that a woman could ever do to somebody, cheat, treat them like shit, tell them that thing that I said, and while they're crying, you flick them off. I'm really sorry that I'm kind of getting emotional about it. I'm trying to, be better and try to move on. But I've seen a lot of people around me, my family the most. It's really hard when you have to open up your heart and your mind and basically explain to yourself that you have to leave, even though that you don't want to. It sucks. It's a horrible experience to go through. But one thing I gotta say is, do what you love to do the most in order to get over it. It's hard. I know. Trust me. It sucks. I know. But, the gym for me is my therapy. It makes me feel like, I'm not trying to put my head above everybody else, but it makes me feel like the man. Every time I come into the gym, she pops in my head, and I used to cry about it. My boys would tell me, you need to relax, you need to keep lifting. And I'm greatly thankful for it that they did that. She pops in my head now, and now I think about all the good stuff, never the bad stuff. The bad stuff is what keeps you in the past. The good stuff is what you can hold on to and think about. Most of that was really, really, really meaningful and gratefully. And I'm very thankful that, I go through this type of stuff, and I just gotta say that, you guys gotta find an outlet for you guys. You can't just sit home, cry, not eat, not talk to anybody, cut yourself off, be in depression. You can't be doing anything like that. It makes yourself even worse, and it makes yourself look vulnerable, and that person on the other side that broke up with you is laughing at you most likely and saying that, yeah, they can't live without me, and I will tear their heart apart until they're no longer alive, unfortunately. But in my story, I always make sure when stuff happens like that you gotta look at the positive. Even though no matter how hard it is, you just gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you love to do. Don't let anybody, I don't care who it is, tell you that you can't do something that you love to do. I understand that, transportation sucks, the weather sucks, your family can't give you rides, you don't have any money. I understand completely on that. But the gym is something that I can do forever, and I know it won't hurt my feelings and it won't cheat on me. It definitely